Hi, this is Paula from Alanda Craft, and in this video I'm going to show you how to design your own Halloween pumpkin using Brother ScanNCut Canvas. So we start over here in the basic option. I'm going to select that to open out all the shapes, and I'm going to select the circle. So I'll just click once and it appears on my screen here. Now I'm just going to drag this down to make it more of an oval shape. Something like that is fine. And then I'm going to right click on it and I'm going to duplicate. So now I've got another one. So I'm just going to line that up there, and then I'm going to right click again and duplicate again. So we've got 3 of them now. Now when I make these, I don't really line these up in any particular way, but you can if you wish, and I'll show you how. If I just zoom in, what you can do is, you can see how when you click on something you get the dots appear. So with this dot here, and you get the teal circle up here as well, what you can do is line those up with the line here on your mat. So if I click on that one, the middle one, and line that up with that line there, and then I grab this one, and what I'm going to do is line that up with this one here, with this line here. So you can do that if you wish, if you really want to line these up perfectly. I personally don't worry, I just eyeball it. And this one I'm going to line up here with the 7. Okay, so that just lines them up like that. Now what I'm going to do now is I'm going to click on this one here and right click and duplicate again. So we've got another one here, but this time I'm going to make this one a little smaller. So I'm going to click from the bottom, drag it up, just to make it about that sort of size. This is just the outer edge of the pumpkin. And then I'm going to right click on that one, duplicate, and bring it over the other side. And again, you can line these 2 up. If I click on it, there's my teal sort of circle there. I'm going to line it up on the 4, and this one I'm going to line up on the 8 on this line running down here. Okay, so you can see that is lining up on that line. All right, so that just helps you sort of make sure everything's sort of sitting right. Okay, once I'm happy with that, what I'm going to do is click and drag to highlight everything. So click, drag all the way up until everything is highlighted. And then I'm going to right click and weld. Okay, so that's given us our basic pumpkin shape. Now at this stage you can resize this to whatever you like. So you can stretch it down if you want it a bit chunkier looking there, or you can widen it up or bring it back in. Really up to you. This is your pumpkin, you design it the way you wish. I think I'm happy with that sort of look, so I'll go with that. So that's the outside done. Now what we want to do is add some eyes. So I'm going to come over to the triangle, click on that. Okay, and I'm going to drag this down now until it's the size I want. So I just click from the corner and drag. So that's about right. Okay, so once I've got the size I want, I just right click on that one and then I select duplicate. Okay, so now I've got the 2 eyes done. Now you can potentially resize this to whatever you like, but you can also turn them to get a different look. Sort of that sort of thing. Really up to you. You can also, if we double click on one, if I double click on this one, you see the nodes appear. And what you can do when those nodes appear is you can click and drag to get a whole different look. So I can do the same here, double click, click and drag, and we get a whole different look again. So just play with it, really up to you how you want it to look, but I'm going to go with that for the moment. Okay, now we want the nose. So again, I'll come back to the triangle, click on it. Okay, and I'm going to make this one smaller as well, so click and drag from the corner until I get the size I like. So that's probably about right, something like that. Okay, now the mouth. What we're going to do is we're going to scroll down to the empty space down here, and then we're going to come up here to the path tool. Click on that, and we'll start clicking. So the first thing we want to do is click once. You see you get that blue dot appear. You also notice that as you move your mouse around, you get a line following you. So what you want to do is you want to come down a little and then click again. So you click again, you get another blue dot. All right, come up, click once, come down, click again, up, click, down, click, and so on. You can do this as many times as you like until you get the width that you're wanting for your mouth. Then you come up, back down, up, down, up, down. Okay, so you get the gist of that, up and down. All right, So that's my mouth done. Now what I normally do is I come up here, put it in here, and if I think, well, it needs to be a bit wider, I can click and drag from the sides. I can also click from the top and bring it down. And if it's totally wrong, if I really want to make some more changes to it, if I bring it back down here, I'll show you what you can do. I'll make it bigger just so you can see a little better. But you can double click on it and get those nodes appearing. Now this time when you do this, before you make any changes, come up and click Hide Control Points. Alright, so now you're just left with these ones. So what you can do now is you can just play around with these. Okay, so you can click and drag them to make the look you want. So click and drag there, I could bring that down, bring that one up, maybe bring that up there. So really you can just play and get the look that you're wanting. Something like that. That's fine. Okay, I'm going to click, drag to make it smaller, put it in there, move those eyes up. So now I'd spend a bit of time just, I might even make these eyes a little bit bigger, something like that. Spend some time and just get the look of what you're after. The nose there, something like that is fine. Okay, so we're just about there. So we need the stem now, and what I do for the stem is this one here. And you can see there's different shapes here. You could potentially use the shape I've got highlighted down here. You could use this one as well. So really just play and just see which one works for you. I'm just going to go with this one. Just click that. And what I'm going to do is just make it smaller. So I'm going to click and drag from the corner just to make it smaller. And then I'm going to rotate. Click and drag that little teal coloured circle to rotate till I get it to about there. And put it up here, and I might make it bigger again. I think it needs to be a little bit bigger, something like that. Okay, so what I'm going to do is colour these in just to see how it looks. Okay, so I'm going to click on the shape of the pumpkin, come up here to the properties option, and I'm going to select a colour from here. So click the drop down and I'll select this nice Halloween orange colour. So that's the pumpkin. Okay, now the stem, I'll click on that, come back up to properties, and we'll go with a green. Okay, now we've got the eyes, the nose, and the mouth. I'm going to make them all black. So rather than click once and go up and change each one to black, I'm going to select them all. So to do that, I'm going to click once on this one, then I'm going to hold my shift key down on my keyboard. And then I'm going to click the second one, and while I'm still holding this shift key down, I select the rest. Okay, once I've selected everything I want, I can let go of that shift key. They're all selected. I'll come up to properties, come to the colour option and select black. There we go, we're done. Now at this point you could resize everything, so I might want to do that. That's looking pretty good. Yep, maybe bring that out. So this is the point you want to, before you start saving, you want to just make sure everything's right. I'll probably rework these eyes a little bit, they're fine for the moment. Okay, as long as I'm happy with everything, what I'd normally do at this point is click and drag to highlight everything. Okay, so everything's highlighted, and then I'm going to right click and group. And what grouping does is it allows me to resize the whole lot proportionally. So if I didn't do that, and I started resizing that out of shape, the eyes and nose and mouth wouldn't resize at the same rate. So they'd be all out of whack. So if I group them though, I can now click and drag and you see everything resizes at the same rate. Okay, so that's what I usually do there. And then when you're ready to cut, you can ungroup, okay, once you've got it to the size you want. So ungroup. Okay, now you've got two options for saving here. You can save it in pieces. So what I mean by that is, if I click this and drag it out, drag that out, that, and that. Okay, they're all in bits. So that's how they'd actually cut. You'd be able to cut that piece, then you'd cut this piece and these pieces. So they'd all be bits that you'd be sticking those eyes back onto here. If you're using cardstock or whatever, you're cutting them out in black cardstock, this one in green and this one in orange, and then you stick them back on. But if you want this all sort of welded together, I'll show you what I mean. If I put these eyes back, so I'll pop them there, okay, and I'll leave this on its own. But if I want this welded, I'll put them exactly how I want it to appear, and then I'd click and drag everything. Okay, click and drag, and then I'd right click with my mouse, right click, you get the pop-up appear, and then I come down and go subtract. Okay, and you see how that works? So you no longer have pieces, you just have this one pumpkin, and it would actually cut out the eyes and the mouth, so you'd be left with holes in that piece. So that's a different option for you. Depends how you want this to look. I'd still probably have this separate, but you could actually even weld that on. I'd probably cut them in two different pieces. But if you wanted to weld this, you could pop that there and then highlight everything. Right click and weld. And you see how that actually becomes one piece. So this is all now just one single piece. So there are your options for saving this. I mean, you could save that, you could save the one in pieces, you could save, you know, different ways depending on how you want this to look. So, but once you're ready and you've saved it to the bit you want, you can come up here, call it pumpkin, and then download, and then you're ready to save it. So you could just click that, it will download to your PC, or you could do ScanNCut transfer and it will transfer directly into your ScanNCut machine. So hopefully that was helpful. I hope you enjoy your Halloween. For those in the US, we really don't celebrate it very much here in Australia, but I hope you have a good time. And thanks for watching. Give us a thumbs up if you enjoyed this tutorial.